Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the 10th day. It is last day of 10 days international conference on social work, sciences, technologies, environment, climate change, disaster management, health, well-being, sustainable development 2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 76 years of independence, India's G20 presidency, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns. And also World Health Organization 75th anniversary. And 4th National Social Work Week 2023. And also various commemorations like International Youth Day 2023 with the theme Green Skills for Youth Towards a Sustainable Development, International Day of Remembrance and Tribute to the Victims of Terrorism, International Day commemorating the victims of acts of violence based on religion or belief, World Humanitarian Day, and also World Photography Day, World Orangutan Day, and various others day. Today, also we are commemorating two international days, which is International Day commemorating the victims of acts of violence based on religion or belief, and also World Plant Milk Day. So commemorating all these events, in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wealth. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's sessions. So before starting today's commemorations, I request those presenters who have registered, who have completed their formalities to share their details, name, designation, organization, and your topic in chat box and stay connected. As today is the last day to make your presentations, you can share your details in the chat box. After commemorations, we will invite you for your presentations. Today, as already mentioned, it is International Day commemorating victims of acts of violence based on religion or belief. freedom of religion or belief, or freedom of opinion and expression, the right to peaceful assembly, and the right to freedom of association are interdependent, interrelated, and mutually reinforcing. They are enshrined in Articles 18, 19, and 20 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Upholding these rights plays an important role in the fight against all forms of intolerance and discrimination based on religion or belief. The open, constructive, and respectable debate of ideas, as well as the interreligious, interfaith, and intercultural dialogue at the local, national, regional, and international levels can play a positive role in combating religious hatred, incitement, and violence. Furthermore, the exercise of the right to freedom of opinion and expression and full respect for the freedom to seek, receive, and impart information can play a positive role in strengthening democracy and combating religious intolerance. There are continuing acts of intolerance and violence based on religion or belief against individuals, including against persons belonging to religious communities, religious minorities around the world. And the number and the intensity of such incidents, which are often of a criminal nature and may have international characteristics and are increasing. Here we need to understand minorities. Who are minorities? When we see across the world, the largest population, when we see the population of 800 million, we see the highest population, because here when we are talking about religious beliefs and when we are talking about religion or belief systems, the highest population, that is the majority across the world, are Christians. Christians are the highest in population across the world, and the next highest population are the Muslims who practice Islam, and third highest are the Hindus, and fourth goes to Buddhism, Jainism, and so on. So here, by this statement, by the statistics of population, we can know, we can see who are minorities and who are majorities. Often, when we talk about minorities, it is often misunderstood as, generally in a context of a particular religion treated as minority. But we are on an international platform, so it is very much important to understand who are actually majorities and who are minorities. So here across the world, there are Muslim countries, there are Christian countries. So these are the majorities which commit atrocities on the religious minorities, those who do not belong to these religions. And even nations like India does not have any official religion. Even here also we see a lot of cases, lot of conflicts among religious groups. Though India is a Hindu country, but still we see a lot of religious intolerance by other religious communities on minorities as well. Because this is the nature of the other religions or belief systems, which are highly intolerant, impatient, and having an hidden agenda to create unrest in various forms. Though the basic philosophy of religions are same, all to promote peace and harmony, but unfortunately, such practices or people with vested interest are always looking for conflicts which create conflicts among these religious communities. So we see, in many countries where there are, especially across the world, we see Hindus, lot of atrocities are committed on Hindus because no official country, there is no official country which is designated its religion as Hindu country. So across the world, Hindus are minority. So there are a lot of atrocities that are committed by Islamic nations and Christian nations, which they themselves have declared as, these religions as official religions. But in India, there is no official religion. In spite of that, there is a lot of intolerance. But turning a blind eye to entire world, just see the plight of Hindus in the neighboring country, Pakistan. At least, are they enjoying the same rights? Are other religions like Christians or Muslims enjoying in India? You compare, or you take any country. See how many benefits other religious communities, though they are not majority locally, but they are treated equally and provided with equal opportunities. But across the world, even in those countries which are officially inclined or declared themselves as, Islamic country or Christian country or some other religion country as official religion, how the religious minorities like Hindus, or it may be any other minority religion which is not an official religion there, how they are being treated, lot of atrocities and violation of human rights. All these are violated, which are stated like Article 18, 19, 20 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights are violated across the world. We see a lot of atrocities are committed on Hindus and various religious minorities across the world. If we see, and this is just not related to just Hindus or other religious communities, even Islamic countries, we have seen committing atrocities on Christian, Hindus, and various other religions. And we see Christian countries committing atrocities on Islamist, that is Muslim population, Hindu population, and various other populations. So here, we are not talking about any religion in particular, but what we are trying to understand is the concept of minority and majority. So, where we have Muslim countries, we have Christian countries, but there is no other religious country. For even Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism, though India is a Hindu country, but never declared officially itself as Hindu country, but declared itself as a secular country, by nature, because we truly believe in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and treat everyone as equal. Though we see a lot of people, even other religions, they don't, celebrate any festival. You rarely see, no church or no mosque celebrates any Hindu festival. Or no prayer songs are prayed anywhere. Can you just, it is rarely. And they also, a lot of hate speech that is spread across, unfortunately. Though it is, it is widely seen across everywhere. Everyone knows it and it's quite common because they are in the mission to increase their population across the world. And a lot of conversion takes place by various means and ways to convert people into their religion. And this has been quite evident by the population statistics census across the world, where other religious people are being converted into their religions. So this is an undeniable fact across the world, especially, which is most populous in a country in India. We see a lot of people are being converted forcefully or, by luring them for education or employment or for health facilities and so on. So like this, various violations that are happening by these religious communities which are violating the universal human rights. And if you see, there are various acts of violence based on religion or belief. Even there are continuous acts of intolerance and violence based on a religion or a belief against individuals, including against persons belonging to religious communities and religious minorities across the world. And the number of intensity of such incidents, which are often a criminal nature, have international characteristics and are increasing. This is what the United Nations says. And that is why General Assembly adopted the resolution 73/296 titled International Day commemorating the victims of acts of violence based on religion or belief, strongly condemning continuing violence and acts of terrorism targeting individuals, including persons belonging to religious minorities, on the basis or in the name of religion or belief. The member states reaffirmed their unequivocal condemnation of all acts, methods, and practices of terrorism and violent extremism conducive to terrorism in all its forms and manifestations, wherever and by whomsoever committed, regardless of their motivation, and reiterated the terrorism and violent extremism as when conducive to terrorism in its all forms and manifestations cannot and should not be associated with any religion, nationality, civilization, or ethnic groups. The General Assembly decided to designate 22nd August as the International Day commemorating the victims of acts of violence based on religion or belief. So yesterday itself we commemorated International Day of Remembrance and Tribute to the Victims of Terrorism. Even in the name of religious terrorism, we see, a lot of certain religious communities have, unfortunately gained the name as terrorist groups and terrorist organizations across the world, and certain organizations are banned. And unfortunately, certain terrorism activities like, campaigns like jihad and all other sorts of terrorist groups and, in the name of freedom, or lots of groups are there, different names and different who are fighting or who are creating bloodshed. Though any means, even it is for freedom or even it is for a cause, it should be peaceful manner. But killing people in the name of religion, in the name of achieving freedom, is not at all a thing that is to be promoted by anyone, anywhere. So this day, today, comes after the International Day of Remembrance and Tribute to the Victims of Terrorism, which was celebrated every year on 21st August, which was yesterday, day before today. So the General Assembly in its resolutions 73/296 designated 22nd August as the International Day commemorating the victims of acts of violence based on religion or belief, recognizing the importance, providing the victims of acts of violence based on religion or belief and members of their families with appropriate support and assistance in accordance with applicable law. They strongly deplore all acts of violence against persons on the basis of their religion or belief, as well as any such acts directed against their homes, business, properties, schools, cultural centers, or places of worship, as well as all acts on and in religious places, sites, shrines that are in violation of international law. A previous resolution establishing the International Day of Remembrance of Tribute to the Victims of Terrorism also recognized that working together to enhance the implementation of existing legal regimes that protect individuals against discrimination and hate crimes, increasing interreligious, interfaith, intercultural efforts, and expanding human rights education are important steps in combating incidents of intolerance, discrimination, and violence against individuals on the basis of religion or belief. By proclaiming an International Day commemorating the victims of acts of violence based on religion or belief, the General Assembly recalled the states have the primary responsibility to promote and protect human rights, including the human rights of persons belonging to religious minorities, including their right to exercise their religion or belief freely. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which is a milestone document in the history of human rights, drafted by representatives with different legal and cultural backgrounds from all regions of the world. The declaration was proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in Paris on 10th December 1948, General Assembly Resolution 2178, as a common standard of achievement for all people and all nations. It sets out for the first time fundamental human rights to be universal, protected, and it has been translated into over 500 languages. The UDHR is widely recognized as having inspired and paved the way for the adoption of more than 70 human rights treaties applied today on a permanent basis at global and regional levels, all containing references to it in the preamble. So the preamble goes like this: whereas recognition of the inherent dignity and the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family is the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace in the world. Whereas disregard and contempt for human rights have resulted in barbarous acts which have outraged conscience of mind and the advent of a world in which human beings enjoy freedom of speech and belief from fear and want has been proclaimed as the highest aspiration of the common people. Whereas it is essential, if man is not to be compelled to have recourse as a last resort to rebellion against tyranny and oppression, that human rights should be protected by the rule of law. Whereas it is essential to promote development of friendly relations between the nations. Whereas the peoples of the United Nations have in the Charter reaffirmed their faith in fundamental human rights, in the dignity and worth of the human person, and in the equal rights of men and women, have determined to promote social progress and better standards of life in larger freedom. Whereas member states have pledged themselves to achieve, in cooperation with the United Nations and the promotion of universal respect and the observance of human rights and fundamental freedom. whereas a common understanding of these rights and freedoms is of great importance for the full realization of this pledge. Now, therefore, the General Assembly proclaims the Universal Declaration of Human Rights as a common stand of achievement for all people and all nations, to the end that every individual and every organ of the society, keeping this declaration constantly in mind, shall strive by teaching and education to promote respect for these rights and freedoms, and by progressive measures, national and international, to secure the universal and effective recognition and observance both among the people of member states themselves and among the peoples of territories under their jurisdictions. So this is a preamble of universal human rights. And under this, there are 30 articles. We'll not get into that due to paucity of time. We'll see at the end of the day if we are able to do. So we see by this, I will just mention a few articles because we are talking about religious freedom. Here, Article 1 says all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. And Article 2 says everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth or other status. Furthermore, no distinction shall be made on the basis of political, jurisdictional or international status of the country or territory to which the person belongs, whether it be independent, trust, non-self-governing, or under any other institution of sovereignty. So Article 3 says everyone has a right to life, liberty, and security of the person. Article 4 says no one shall be held in slavery or servitude. Slavery and the slave trade shall be prohibited in all their forms. Article 5 says no one should be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman or degrading treatment or punishment. Article 6 says everyone has a right to recognition everywhere as a person before law. Article 7 says all are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination unto equal protection of the law. All are entitled to equal protection against any discrimination, violation of the declaration against any incitement to such discrimination. And Article 8 says everyone has the right to an effective remedy by the competent national tribunals for acts violating fundamental rights granted by him by the Constitution or law. Article 9 says no one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile. Article 10 says everyone is entitled in full equality to a fair and public hearing by an independent and impartial tribunal, the determination of his rights and obligations and of any criminal charge against them. And so on. We have 30 articles, which are more relevant to this. So this day, that is International Day commemorating the victims of acts of violence based on religion or belief. honors the survivors and victims of religious-based violence. Despite living in 20th century, there are parts of the world where people still have no freedom to practice their religions or religious beliefs. And the insiders groups to state governments, everyone uses religions to stroke fear of the other. People from different faiths are routinely labeled security threats. Religion becomes an excuse to justify misogyny, homophobia, and racism, extending to official policies and laws. Religious stigmatization is often the root cause of discrimination in every sphere of life. Today, the world commits to protecting an individual's right to freedom of religion. We may have too many historical precedents of religious-based violence, and history cannot repeat itself. The world has never been as polarized as it is today. While the freedom of practice religious belief is a fundamental right, we continue seeing violent acts of intolerance. Attacks on minority communities have increased in number and intensity. The violation of human rights seem disturbingly commonplace to the extent that most people are now impervious or numb to the horrors. In 2019, the UN General Assembly instituted an International Day commemorating the victims of acts of violence based on religion or belief. This day reinforces the international community commitment to justice for the survivors of genocide and other atrocities based on religion or ethnicity. This day seeks to hold people accountable for their crimes. Protecting religious rights is the duty of the state and every individual. Freedom isn't an exclusive concept, after all. Until each person can exercise their rights freely, nations cannot call themselves free. The day reminds governments of the need to rebuild robust systems for people to seek justice. Rehabilitation for victims of religious violence is crucial to facilitate support and healing. And today is an act of remembrance and action. The international community remembers people who have died just because they lived different lives. We honor their bravery. We also celebrate those who work tirelessly to advocate for the freedom of individuals to practice their culture and religion. So religion offers moral codes and teachings that can guide people to better their lives and the lives of others. But there's ample evidence showing it may achieve the opposite. The belief in religious supremacy can cause deep-seated prejudice against other religions, leading to violence or perceived in martyrdom. So that's why we see a lot of religions, especially certain religions have these issues. And we have a relevant day, that is International Religious Freedom Day, which is on October 27th. And across the world, religion-based violence is as old as civilization. The past decades have seen a sharp increase in religious conflicts and violence around the world. So share information about this day and read more about it. So the more people you reach, the better. Silence can be defeating by choosing not to address injustice. So this day offers hope and support and offer global solidarity in the times of crisis. People impacted by religious violence can find solace that they are not alone in their struggles. Religious discrimination pervades every space we inhabit. Religious discrimination pervades every space we inhabit. From living rooms to boardrooms, battling the stigma requires enormous will and each person's efforts at entry level to make a difference. Today we are also commemorating World Plant Milk Day on August 22nd every year. Because whether you know it or not, plant milk is a good, sustainable alternative to dairy. So we celebrate World Plant Milk Day, which is a good, sustainable alternative to dairy milk. Plant milk safely provides your body key nutrients and minerals, giving you all the strength and endurance to live your life to the fullest. World Plant Milk Day also reminds plant milk safely provides your body key nutrients and minerals, giving the strength and endurance to live your life to the fullest. It also reminds us that the drinking plant milk has other benefits. You may help to eliminate animal cruelty and reduce global warming just by drinking a glass of water. So do your And this World Plant Milk Day also reminds us that drinking plant milk has other benefits. You can help to eliminate animal cruelty, reduce global warming just by drinking a glass of milk. So do your body and the world some good by raising a cold, frothy glass of delicious plant milk into toast and your own health and the health of the world. So World Plant Milk Day is celebrated every year on August 22nd, 2023. Plant-based milk is lactose-free and the best suitable and substitute for the cow milk. World Plant Milk Day was created in 2017 by the co-founder of Plant-Based News, Robbie Lockie. The day became an collaborative effort between PBN and ProVeg in 2018. The biggest reason to consume plant-based milk is the lactose-free, making it ideal for those who are lactose intolerant. But that's not all. Plant-derived milk tastes great. It's low and ideal for But that's not all. Plant-derived milk tastes great. It's low fat and is ideal for vegans. Plant-based milk is rich in nutrients and contains the daily required of essential vitamins and minerals. The risk of cholesterol increasing is minimal and the milk consistency isn't heavy on the digestive system either. Almond milk, soy milk, cashew milk, rice milk, hemp milk, and flax milk are also some of the popular plant-based milk types. So this World Plant Milk Day is a less of tradition and more of worldwide campaign to transition from consuming whole fat milk to plant-based milk. health experts and environmental activities and plant-based milk is offered as healthy and safe alternative to cow milk, and it is used every day. Recipients, lactose intolerant people are healthy conscious weight watchers from other incorporate plant milk. Lactose intolerant people of health conscious weight watchers often incorporate plant-based milk into their chest. Online discussions on health forms of various evaluate. Within the increasing availability of dairy-free products, it's easier than ever to integrate plant milk into your diet. So buying milk flavors and see which one is better. Almond milk. In the Middle Ages, almond milk was known to be in both Islamic world and Christendom as a nut considered suitable for consumption during Lent. With the Italian regions of Apulia, Calabria, and Campania, almond milk is protected traditionally agriculture products. Despite as many health advantages, almond milk does not have as high precision content as breast milk, cow's milk, and hydrolyzed formulas, and therefore is not suitable for replacement of children under 2 years. The majority of American almonds are grown in the states of California. Less dairy means a better word. Because cattle milk is near ubiquitous, but animal agriculture also leads to major pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. This drives climate change by occasionally replacing cow milk with plant milk or any other milk, cow milk, buffalo milk, any milk it may be. Plant milk provides a long list of health benefits, including calcium and a low sugar and a calorie count. In addition, plant milk does not contain IFZ1, a growth hormone given to cows. Plant milk comes in multiple options ranging from soy, almond, cashew, rice, oat, hemp, flax, and many more. With abundance of different tastes, you are sure to find one you love. This World Plant Milk Day is an international day that celebrates plant-based alternatives to dairy milk, founded by Robbie Locke, co-founder of the Plant-Based News in 2017, and established as a partnership with ProVeg 2018. 2018. The campaign has attracted the attention of millions of people around the world and helped accelerate the transition from dairy milk to the rich variety of plant-based alternatives. In 2020, Switch for Good joined to reach more people, and further, the idea of future is dairy-free. From soy to oat to cashew to hemp, the diversity of vegan milks continues to grow in tandem with the global shift towards plant-based eating, a market predicted to be worth $74.2 billion by 2027. Now, why we need to move to plant-based milk? First priority is our health. Research consistently shows that a whole food plant-based diet, including plant milk, is good for you. Such a diet can help prevent hypertension, obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and certain kinds of cancer. So we don't need cow's milk or cattle milk to be healthy. A dairy-free lifestyle has the power to make you fantastic. Now, in the long-term future, you may experience increased energy, less bloating, improved digestion, clearer sleep, reducing asthma. So research consistently shows that a wholesome food plant-based diet, including plant milk, is good for all. Such a diet can help prevent hypertension, obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and certain kinds of cancer. You don't need cattle milk to be healthy. A dairy-free lifestyle has the power to make you feel fantastic now and in the long future. You may experience increased energy, less bloating, improved digestion, clearer skin, reduced asthma symptoms, less inflammation. And when we look at the statistics, cattle milk is considered to be a health food when 65% of the world population is intolerant to it. Once someone who is lactose intolerant consumes cattle milk or any other lactose-containing dairy or dairy products, symptoms can occur within 30 minutes and the struggle is red. These symptoms include abdominal pain, bloating, gas, nausea, and diarrhea. Next is our environment. Animal agriculture is one of the leading drivers of climate change, producing more greenhouse gases than all of the world's transport combined. Switching from dairy to plant-based milk is one of the easiest ways in which you can significantly reduce the impact on the planet. The dairy industry is cause of immeasurable stress to cows and other cattle due to enormous volume of milk production. Dairy cows, who are intelligent, empathetic, and affectionate animals, must endure So the dairy industry is a cause of immeasurable stress to cows and other cattle due to the enormous volume of milk production. Dairy cows, who are intelligent, empathetic, and affectionate, and many people have this dairy allergy, which is one of the most common food allergies and is particularly prevalent in young children. Up to 3% of the children in Western population are estimated to be allergic to dairy. And while many children grow out of this affliction, 6.1 million adults in America reported dairy allergy symptoms in 2019. So symptoms can range from very severe life-threatening anaphylaxis to less serious reactions such as hives. You deserve to be free your best every day. A dairy allergy is an immunological reaction to the proteins in milk, casein, and whey. When an individual with milk allergy consumes day of the kind, the body triggers an immune system to fight. A dairy milk allergy reaction can be immediate or occur up to 3 days after consuming dairy. These delayed responses make them allergy difficult to diagnose. Those who experience immediate allergic reactions to the dairy milk are generally unaware or aware of the allergy. So these symptoms, including wheezing, cough, with this, we shall conclude today's commemorations. And now we invite the presenters to share their details. Of presentation, like presentation topic, title, name, designation, and organization in the chat box. After the feedback form for session 1, invite all the presentations one by one, if any. So we request everyone to quickly fill the feedback form for session 1 and stay back for the overall feedback form. So we'll be starting the presentations after 5 minutes. Request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form in next 5 minutes so that we can close and invite the presentations. Feedback form has been shared in the form of polls. You can access it from the polls business menu, or if you have accidentally closed, otherwise it will automatically come. Or you can update your Zoom app or log in and log out quickly. Log out and log in so that you can access the form. There is any technical issue. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form for session 1. The presenters who are willing to present after filling up the feedback form can raise your hand so that we can unmute yourself. And give you permission so that you can present.
There's a big Jewish population in Squirrel Hill, so it was easy for me to stay really close to my Jewish roots. I went to a Jewish preschool, a Jewish elementary school. I spent my summers at Jewish summer camp, so I'm on a Jewish swim team.
My kids were very close with the rabbi at Tree of Life, and Tree of Life was a home away from home for us in a lot of ways.
By the time I was 6 or 7 years old, I'd be able to run around that synagogue Tree of Life and just do what I wanted. We felt safe.
315, hold a perimeter. We're under fire. We're under fire. He's got an automatic weapon. He's firing out of the front of the synagogue.
Media Wilkins, I have an officer shot in the hand.
3410, please send the medics up here. 7-1, clear the air. We have a surrender in progress. Suspects crawling out. Suspects talking about all these Jews need to die. We're still communicating with them.
A gunman opened fire on the Tree of Life synagogue, and he shot 11 congregants dead. I didn't really know how I was supposed to react or how I could react or what I should be doing.
I think of Tree of Life and what happened there daily still. It's part of my everyday existence, part of the fiber of who I am and who my family is.
Enough garlic on there? Yeah. I don't even see it.
I don't really remember those 2 days very much. All I remember is yelling at my mom a lot, or so she says. Then I just got really mad at her for like everything she did was like wrong. Like crying was wrong. Calling my grandmother was wrong, like everything.
My children have all been scarred to different degrees, knowing people that were there, knowing where certain people were standing at the time that they were likely murdered. So not only am I dealing with my own feelings towards it, I'm working with 4 teenagers who are really struggling with, why do people hate us just because we're Jewish?
Everybody in our community has been affected in some way or another. I started going to therapy, and I've been diagnosed with PTSD, and I'm continuing to work through it. I was one of the younger kids on the bus, and this older kid gets up in the back of the bus and he was like, "Who on this bus is Jewish?" And another girl and we looked at each other, both Jewish, we're like, and she stood up and she goes, "Well, why do you want to know?" And he was like, "Because all of you deserve to be in a gas chamber." And she just sat down. And we drove home.
Yeah, I feel like our call to action is just like join the task force to do more.
Kaylee has an extreme fire in her belly for change, and it's really something that she was born with and something that inspires her from within.
I'm an activist because of the times we live in. I'm an activist because I simply cannot allow injustice to go unchallenged. I'm an activist because I can't unsee all of the damage that has happened in the lives
and
of
here we are today, 6 months later, and 11 people in my community were murdered by the same.
To me, what happened at Tree of Life is split into 2 different categories, one of anti-Semitism and one of gun violence. And both are really strong, powerful issues that our country faces today.
The Holocaust did not start with the gas chambers. It started long before with hate speech. Therefore, we need today to be vigilant. We are seeing a rise of anti-Semitism around the world, and particularly in Europe, in the United States, everywhere. This rise of anti-Semitism we are witnessing is being accompanied, if I may say it, with other forms of intolerance. We are seeing anti-Muslim hatred. We are seeing Christian minorities being targeted. We have to understand that your God is not better than my God. Your religion is not better than my religion.
One of the most special moments after the shooting was on the Friday night, which was the first Shabbat after. There were hundreds of people from local churches lining the street of the synagogue to pave our way in, and everyone was holding a candle, and the kids who were too young to be holding candles just stood there with hearts, and nobody spoke. Everyone had tears, and there was so much comfort because we were scared to go to synagogue. I will never be able to put into words how much that meant to me.
The Office of the Special Advisor on the Prevention of Genocide is engaging with tech companies, namely Facebook, to try to see how we can join this battle against those who are spreading hatred around the world.
World Plant Milk Day is a day dedicated to celebrating plant milks and encouraging people to switch from dairy and opt for plant-based alternatives. So why should you take the 7-day dairy-free challenge? Expect to experience increased energy, less bloating, improved digestion, clearer skin, reduced asthma symptoms, and other lasting health benefits. The dairy industry is also a major contributor to the unnecessary pressures humans place on the planet. It is a significant source of greenhouse gas emissions and water pollution, in addition to taxing our natural land and water resources. We can dramatically reduce our environmental footprint by switching to a plant-based alternative. When you sign up to the pledge, you'll receive daily emails packed with recipes, tips, and tricks on how to live dairy-free. Share your progress on social media using the hashtag World Plant Milk Day and nominate your friends and family. Good luck. The future is dairy-free.
Okay, now we invite Dr. Irene to unmute yourself and start your video and presentation with your introduction. And others who are willing to present, share your details in the chat box. So
hello, sir. Can you see my video, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We can see you, we can hear you. We can start.
Can I start my presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening to you all.
Do
Good
you have
evening to
any
Ravindra
PPT?
sir. Thank you for giving an opportunity for present my paper here. I'm Dr. Irene, Associate Professor, Department of Social Work, Innopaya deemed to be University in Mangalore, Karnataka. The study is about the mothers and adolescent daughters with specific reference to menstruation. It's a cross-sectional study conducted in Mangalore, Dakshina Kannada. So adolescents, an introduction. Adolescents account for 1/5 of the world's population, 22.8% of India's total population. Adolescent girls constitute close to half of this. Menstrual hygiene is a recurring issue that every girl and woman has to deal with for menarche and menstruation. Deal with from menarche to menopause. A menstruating woman, girl is considered unclean with taboos and myths. Women are brought up in a society which has maintained secrecy of reproductive aspects which cannot be discussed openly. Negative perceptions form the basis for restricting women and social activities, women's social activities. Definition of few of the important terms used in this study. Adolescence. The term adolescence derived from the Latin word adolescere means to grow into maturity. It also means to emerge or achieve identity. WHO identifies adolescence as the period in human growth and development that occurs after childhood and before adulthood from ages 10 to 19. Adolescence for a girl is a phase of change from girlhood to womanhood between 10 to 19 years, where girls attain reproductive maturity, physiological, behavioral, and psychological changes, the most important being beginning of menstruation. They also face a lot of health problems during this period. Menarche and menstruation. Menarche is the period at which menstruation begins. Menstruation is a visible manifestation of a cyclic physiological uterine bleeding due to shedding of endometrium following invisible interplay of hormones, mainly through the hypothalamus pituitary ovarian axis, according to the textbook of gynecology by B.C. Datta. So,
Ma'am, we cannot see your PPT.
Can't see?
No, ma'am.
Okay, sorry. I was thinking. Okay. Could you hear me?
Yeah, we can see you.
Oh, sorry.
We can hear you. You can share your PPT.
I think I didn't share. Sorry.
It's okay.
Now?
Yeah,
Sir?
now it's visible.
Oh, okay. I've introduced this part. I introduced myself and my topic. So, shall I go a little forward?
Yes, ma'am. You can continue.
I have given this introduction. I have given this definitions. So, 1 minute. Health-seeking behavior. Little technical. Participant. Health-seeking behavior is the first step towards the cure of any health problem. There is a little, my screen has some problem. The first step towards the cure of any health problem. There has been evidence that due to lack of motivation to seek help, many of the health problems remain untreated in the world, even though services are available at the doorstep. The sequence of curative actions that an individual seeks to cure pursued ill health is known as health-seeking behavior. Healthcare-seeking behavior largely concerned with the process of decision-making to seek medical care at a given time and place and from an individual perspective. Health-seeking behavior is not merely dependent on individuals' choice or circumstances. It depends largely upon the dynamics of communities that influence over the well-being of the inhabitant. So also it influences the decision of women regarding their health. So aim of this study is to study the menstruation, its perception, practices, health problems, and health-seeking behavior of the mothers and their adolescent daughters. This is a study is we are mainly asked the opinion of mothers, point of view of themselves and of the adolescent daughters. So objectives are to study the mother's perception and approaches on their and adolescent daughters' menstrual health, to compare the changes regarding restrictions approaches during adolescence of mother and daughter as per mother's opinion, to study the specific health problems which mothers were facing and the adolescent daughters were facing during menstrual cycle and assess health-seeking behavior. This is the research methodology. My study design is cross-sectional study. It's a simple random sampling. 543 mothers in Mangalore Taluk of both rural and urban. I have selected mothers of adolescent daughters who attain menarche. The inclusion criteria here is they should have during the study they should have any adolescent daughters who attain the age of attained menarche. The tool of research is a structured interview schedule. Suitable statistical tests were adopted. T-tests were used, chi-cross test and p-values were used. The area of the study is 2 rural and 2 urban group housing sites in Mangalore Taluk were used for this. Covered 258 women were from rural and 285 women were from the urban area. So education wise, 38.7% of the mothers belonged to the primary education and 26.3 were non-literates, and high primary 22.5% and about 12% were little above that, high school and above. So this is about the age of the respondent, that mothers 68% were in the age group of 36 to 45 years, 22% in the age group of 35 and below, 10% in the age group of 26 to 50 years respectively. Minimum age of the respondent mother was 33. Community composition, there were 75.9% Hindus, 12% Muslims, 6.6% Christians, and 5.5% were others. So this is about the mean age of mother and daughter at menarche. Since the recently we understand that the age of menarche is coming down. So in this study also, daughter's age of menarche is in rural area it is 12.46, urban 12.93 during my study. So mother's age at menarche is little more, 13.21, and in urban area 13.79. Overall is 13.51 for mothers and 12.71 is for the daughters. So my age of menarche is decreasing. So respondents' first feeling at their menarche. The question was asked how you felt when you had menarche in a few years back, and now what about when daughter has a menarche, how you felt it? So here 44.3% showed that they were scared when they had menarche at that time, and then 12.3 were panicked. They are very much scared, and 20.7 shy, and the others, there were other feelings like confused, shy, and shocked, and 7% had not expressed any specific feelings. So when they had daughters, when their daughters had the menarche, how these mothers felt is like they were, instead of being there and there was a sadness when they had the menarche. Here 80.7% majority were very happy. So maybe it is their experience, or maybe it is the daughters who are getting, and these people mothers, as they are taking the role of a mother, 80.7% feeling happy that their daughters are getting into got the menarche. So other 2.27% baffled, and there are 14.7% also were sad when the daughter had a puberty. 0.7% shocked, 1.7% had no response. So information received by the reps, here the question was asked, what information your mother gave to you and what information you gave to your daughter. So when they, in their time, the use of, their mothers told them about how to use a sanitary material. Mainly it was the cloth at that time. Using a clean sanitary cloth, mothers are told first about the sanitary, 100%. Then a majority of them told also about the restriction. You should not go out of the house. You should not, mix with others. These restrictions and came, and they told about what are the various customs to be observed after the menarche, and keeping mainly distance from the opposite sex, especially from the male. So when now we asked also a question on what advice you gave to your daughter. Again here, 100% they told about the sanitary material. The sanitary material might have changed, but instructions were given about how to use a sanitary material. Also, they also told about the restrictions and custom keeping distance from opposite sex. It is only 80% told. And for mothers, 96%, here it is 80%. Also, this younger now, the generation, these mothers have told their daughters about also the sexual abuse. And 45.8% have also given the information that there can be sexual abuse on you. You have to take extra care. Also, a small portion, at least 24.9% have explained the child about the whole process of menstruation. Even the science of that menstruation, they were explained. Opinion on whether one can do regular work during the menstruation. Urban, there is 94% have said yes, and rural, 67% mothers have told we can do the regular work. So there is little significant changes from rural to urban. A method of dispose sanitary clothes after usage by respondent. We asked only this question to the mothers here. Mainly they said burning is the method. They are using it once the cloth gets old, or even when their daughters have sanitary pads, they use mainly the burning, both urban and rural. Urban, rural area is 68.9% burning, and in rural area is 62.1%. And also there is throwing, no one can see, that is there in 3.5%, and 32.5% in the urban area. Throwing into the stream is there in rural areas, 2.9% urban area. And if there are streams or some waste flowing areas, there also they'll use it. Burying is also there among the 77.4% of the rural communities, 2.5% in the urban area. Religious and social restrictions for mothers. Religious restriction is almost same in the urban and rural area. Rural 95.4%, and social restrictions are 79.8%. Urban area 92.6% religious restrictions, 47.7% social restrictions. Means social restrictions are little less in the urban area. Also, compared to religious restrictions, social restrictions are less. So, little explanation of the type of social restrictions for the mothers. It is during the mother's time, forbidden to physical proximity to enter the house, kitchen, or to touch certain plants. 78.6% in rural area, and 50% in the urban area. They told what they had. They were forbidden from entering the house, kitchen, or touch certain plants. Mingle with the opposite sex outside the family. Means your family only males you can mix a little. You have to keep a lot of distance from any other male, even the relative. That is 62.1% in rural area, and 38.2% in the urban area. Visiting the friends was forbidden by 13.6% in the rural area, 11.8% in the rural area. And restriction to continue the formal school at their time, 20.4% in rural area, they said they were forbidden to continue their schooling. Even in urban area, they told they were also forbidden from the 20.6. These people were not in urban area at that time. Now they are in urban area. To participate in the competition, 27.7% said they were prevented from participating in any type of competition, like sports, going somewhere, singing competition, going out of station, and it is not allowed. So 23.5% of the urban also agreed on that. To mingle with male members of the family. 18.4% said they could not even mingle with their own male members of the family. Urban area, they said 8.1%. Okay, and there is another thing is that the question was on to attend social function in rural area. 39.8% said they were restricted to attend any social function during the menstruation. Urban, it is 20.6%. Competition distance, I already told. In urban, they said 40 to 6% told. Rural area, they said 3.4%. It was less. So restriction for daughters in rural urban. For the mother, as for mother's opinion, what is the situation of the daughters? They were telling in the rural area, 93.4% there were religious restriction. Urban 90.2, almost it is same. It has not changed much. But in the social restriction in rural area, 69.8% said there are restrictions. In the urban area, they said 37.2% only. That means others do not have restrictions. So type of social restriction for daughter, there is a lot of less restrictions. Forbidden to mingle with opposite sex. Rural area, they said 61%. Urban, they said 73.6%, surprisingly. Forbidden physical proximity, you should not touch and all, it is still there in some of the rural area. 20.6% said it is still there even for their daughters they are following. In urban area, 16% said it is there. Like entering house, kitchen, or touching something. Only the forms have changed a little, but they have that restriction still. Restriction for mobility, like going around and moving, participating in various activities. 12.8% in rural area, 7.5% in urban area. Other restriction, 12.8% in urban, rural, and 7.5% in the rural area. This is according to the mother's opinion. They think that in this opinion there is little change. There is some changes there, but not a wide change. Status of health problems during menstruation for respondents and their daughters. They said in mother said 50.8%, that is 276 mothers said yes. And they said they have their daughters, 62.8% said their daughters have health problems during menstruation. That means there is an increase. As they say, I didn't have problem, my daughter has problem, like that. Some 50.8% are saying they had a problem. Okay, so 62.8% are saying our daughters have that problem. That means more there is health problems are increased for the adolescent daughters. So type of health problems for mothers, mostly it is highest is 40 various problems: abdominal pain, low back pain, white discharge, vomiting, giddiness, headache, and other general small health complaints. Abdominal pain for low back pain is highest for the mothers, 46.4%. And abdominal pain is more complained by their daughters, 32.2%. So others are like, low back pain, 15.5% for the daughters. And then again, 14.90% giddiness, headache, and this is very low on the mother's side. It is more on the daughter's side. Vomiting, giddiness, and headache. Low back pain is high on the mother's side. Health-seeking behavior. This we ask the mother, what you do when there is a menstrual problem, for health problems for your daughter or you. Rural area, they said majority have said they are using home remedies for that. They don't consult a medical doctor usually. They have some home remedies. In rural, 87%, and in the urban area, 71.7% said they use the home remedies. Medical consultation, urban area, it is a little more, 17.5%, 3.5% medical consultation in rural area. No treatment, they said, we don't take any treatment, they said 9.5% in rural and 10.8% in the urban area. So suitable time to, so now I had some questions on when to guide these children regarding menstruation. So 100% of the mothers agree that mother has very important role in guiding the daughter at menarche. So they suggest 90.2% among them have suggested that information regarding menstrual health need to be given to adolescent daughters, girls before attaining the menarche, not waiting for up to they get the menarche. 5.2% said information need to be given afterwards, after the menarche. 4.6% said information should be given immediately after the menarche. So topics, some of the topics we asked them what could be the education according to them. 98.5% also told about the information on menstruation management should be given. Also 89% of them also said adolescent health education. There were some choices of lists which they can choose. They also multiple choices they have done. Adolescent health, 89.5% said. Problems of adolescent management, that 47.9%. Reproductive health by 44.8%. Sexual abuse, 41.8%. They said it should be educate the children regarding the sexual abuse. Healthy human relationship by 39.2%. So suggestions and recommendation. All mothers, irrespective of their educational level, should be counseled regarding discussion of menstrual process with their daughters much before the age of menarche. IEC, information, education, and communication material, some activities should be conducted. Simple training material for this IEC, which can be used for both literate and non-literate, will be produced. Training of trainers program is needed to train women and adolescent daughters at the larger level. So implications of the study. Addressing menstrual issue of mothers is a new initiation which confirms the need to interact with mothers as a social and health issue. This study will support and strengthen as a reference source for studies concentrating on women's menstrual health, where studies on menstrual health were not found. Study has succeeded in breaking the silence over menstrual issues of women and the socio-cultural barriers that were preventing the open discussion of the topic even among the educated population in the district. This is expected to facilitate further deliberation on the topic, thus favoring the need for specific intervention. The limitation of the study was limited to women residing in group housing site area, both rural and urban location, Mangalore Taluk, hence may not be the true representation of the opinion of mothers in general. The opinion given by mothers regarding daughters' menstruation is based on mothers' perception and knowledge, hence that may influence the study. So this is about my study. Thank you. Thank you for opportunity, Dr. Ravindra and organizing team. Thank you very much. And you can ask any questions that you can ask.
Congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice presentation has thrown into insights into various aspects of this menarche. This very sensitive topic, which is generally not spoken.
Yes, sir.
You did a wonderful job, and you brought out so much in detail research about various topics.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Dear friends, if you have any queries, you can raise your hand or use the chat box to share your comments, feedbacks. The presentation was also so simple but informative. I hope there are no further queries. There are few appreciation messages in chat box.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you all the participants for patient listening. Thank you, sir. Can I stop sharing, sir?
Yes, ma'am. We wish you all the success, ma'am, and look forward for more sessions.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we will move on to our next presentation. Any other presenters are waiting for their presentation? Can share your details.
Yes, sir, located the site.
Have you shared your details in chat box?
Yes, sir, I filled the form.
Are you listening to the instructions given by us? What did we mention? To share your details in chat box, your name, designation, organization, and your topic.
Okay, sir.
We have repeated so many times. So we have Dr. Sachin Patil. Yeah, Dr. Sachin Patil, you can unmute yourself, start your video and presentation with your introduction.
Yes, sir.
Those who are willing to make presentations are requested to share your name, designation, organization along with your topic in chat box so that we can invite you after this presentation. And kindly wait for your turn. And it is mandatory to complete all the formalities because it is on-spot registration. We are not verifying whether you have completed all the formalities or not. But to be eligible for the certificate, you need to complete all the formalities as mentioned on the website and in registration form.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Sachin.
Sir, I am going to join from the laptop, so please unmute my second one.
It is with the same name?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, now you can use both the IDs.
Sir, are you getting my slides?
Not yet, it's showing. You can switch on your video also. There is some network issue from your end. It's very slow.
Yes, sir. Trying to reconnect, sir.
Can connect to Wi-Fi or a better network.
So now am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible, but
Okay.
yeah, now we can see you, but your presentation is not visible. After this presentation, we will have presentations from Dr. Urvashi Mishra and Mr. Lokeshwar. And any others willing to present can share your details in chat box. Make sure you are registered. You are registered for both participation and presentation. You can use the same form and select both. And also share the details as mentioned in the registration form to the email ID. Can share it once again, close. It's still showing as a right once again.
Sir, are you getting my screen?
Yeah, now we can see you.
Okay.
Share your presentation. Yeah, now you are. Again, we lost the presentation.
Okay.
Then share it again. Yeah, I think your network is slow. You can try connecting from only one device where you have both audio and video and PPT. Now we can see screen, but you have to share your PPT. Yeah, now PPT is visible. You can continue with your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all of you, and thank you, sir. So now I am going to present my topic is utilization, waste food utilization for that make environment safe. Okay, this is my first slide, and myself, Dr. Sachin Patil. So I'm from Karad, SGM College Karad. I'm working as an assistant professor here. So next, let's see about the definition of waste. What is food waste? So food waste is any food that is inedible parts of food, like peels, then fibers, seeds, and whatever from that is unwanted part of the food while preparing major products. Okay, and these remote things that is while supplying food. So that is about the food waste. According to within the FAOs, that is Food and Agriculture Organizations definition framework, food waste is delimited by two other nations like food loss and food wastage. So what is food waste? Food loss. Food loss means is the decreasing mass, that is diameter, or nutritional value like whatever carbohydrate, protein, vitamin. So these nutrients, loss of this nutritional value of food that was originally intended for human consumption. So these losses are mainly caused by insufficiency of in the food supply chains, and also some poor infrastructure, logistics, and lack of technology. So insufficient skills, knowledge, and management capacity of supply chain, and lack of access to markets. So these are the reasons to have food loss in these days. Okay. In addition, natural disasters play a role in that. So what is food wastage? So refers to any food lost by deterioration or waste, that is from spoilage of that, and thus the term wastage that is encompasses of both that food loss and food waste. So this is as per the FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization 2013. So next, let's see about the introduction. So it is a process of preparing the raw material for processing also generates significant amounts of solids and liquid waste. You can see here examples: stalks, shells, peels, and cores of fruits and vegetables. So trimmings means some spoiled parts taken up from that step of the process. So bones that is from meat and poultry industries, hides, offals, and shells from egg and poultry industries. Okay, in case of farm and aquatic animals and spillage way, that is from dairy industries. These are the wastes in case of dairy industries. So it also uses significant quantities of cleaning and sanitizing agents, like that is during washings, some trace compounds, that is from chemical sanitizing agents or cleaning agents. So we will obtain this type of waste also, that is coming through a effluent. Effluent means this is the wastewater from the industries. So it is a big consumer of all types of packaging materials, some of which find their way into the waste stream due to various reasons. Food processing industries essentially uses biological material. It contains biological matter, so that will be harmful to aquatic animals, like land animals, so which is very harmful. So you have to treat it well. So next, accumulation of waste, even for short periods of time, can create an unsanitary conditions. So obviously, it can be harmful to health of the health after consumption of main sources. Okay, so you have to reduce that one. Towards this waste, insects and rodents can be attracted and produce odors and lead to public nuisance or unsightly conditions inside or outside the plants. So it will make water polluted. It make environment polluted. So you have to prevent this type of wastage. So in India, the air and water pollution issues are handled by the Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB in short, and the state pollution control boards. Administrative ministry for the CB is the Ministry of Environment and Forests, the MOEF. So next, how will you reduce and recycle and efficient? So what will be the principles? So I have taken here general principles. So need to aware about these principles. Use of raw materials of good quality first. Then second, you can see here, minimize the wastage during handling, preparation and processing of raw materials and packaging of processed foods from different processing industries. So use appropriate technology, that is use of technical steps, use of machineries, instruments to treat different types of solid waste and liquid waste. So process equipment to minimize energy consumption also, okay? Use recyclable or biodegradable packaging materials as far as possible. So recycled raw material and processed waste as far as possible. And these recycling and reusing, this 3R system, that is reduction, recycling and reuse. So we have to use this 3 R's concept to minimize this wastage and to treat this waste material to make a new product or usable for gardening as well. Okay. Then use appropriate technology to process the non-recyclable wastes, preferably into usable inputs, products or energy. Minimize the wastage of water by reasonable care during preparation and processing without sacrificing quality. Then let's see about next about the types of waste from the industry. So let's see. You can see here it is a table. In that I have taken different. There is type of industries and waste description about waste. Examples of the wastes, and third column I have taken here type of processes, and in the last column you can see here end products, that is final product we can make from that, the utilization of the wastes. So fruit and vegetable industry, let's say about first the stems, stalks, leaves, rotten fruit and vegetables from the fruits and vegetables. That is different, mango, banana and whatever number of types of fruits and vegetables, roots vegetables, shoot vegetables and leafy vegetables. That we get stem, stalks, leaves, and rotten fruit from grapes, that is grapes and other fruits also. Next, we have to process it. So how will you process? So composting process is carried out, composting. So anaerobic treatment, that is biological matter degraded by the microorganism. Those microorganisms can degrade that biological matter into different gases and different products like H2O and whatever N2 and different gases get released and that are useful for farming. So you can see here end products from this process, that is biofertilizer and biogas, then fertilizer, then animal feed. So animal feed like fermented food. You can here made from this fermented food for the animal. Okay. So next, seeds, pulps and pills. So which type of pulps? That is remaining pulp seeds, that is together called as pomace. Pomace is obtained from that that is processing after post-harvest processing. Okay. Next, what will be process carried out for this from this raw, that is wastes? As we can perform extraction process, that is extraction of the pectin from the fruit, seeds, pills, extraction of the oleoresin, that is which is important part for pharmaceutical industries, and that is different industries require this type of oleoresin. So this oleoresin extraction is carried out from this waste. And antioxidant, that is different antioxidant useful for oxidation, prevent the oxidation process. So this type of antioxidants are getting from this waste. So colors and essential oils, enzymes, we can get from this. Okay. After process, fermentation process. Then next, let's see about end product, pectin for jam. So for making jam, we require pectin. So we can extract this pectin from this process and from this raw material. Various food ingredients, alcohol, vinegar. So this type of products also making by fermentation process. Okay, so let's say next meat and poultry processing. So skin, inside bloods, then offal, bones, fat, leftover meats. After prime cutting, after prime cutting, we will obtain leftover meats. So we can use this by after processing this, we can make this type of end product. So salting, tanning, and then cleaning and processing, then crushing, processing, fat extraction, cleaning and mincing. So we can get this type of end product, that is leather, based food ingredients, feeds, industrial and pharma compounds, fertilizers, sausage casings, feeds, fertilizers, cooking fats, mincemeat. So we can make these type of products and package. So what will be the waste obtained from dairy industries like whey, cheese granules, then buttermilk? So we can process this, precipitation, concentration. So we can concentrate to make it short product, that is concentrated product, semi-solid product. So cleaning and processing, centrifugation. Centrifugation we can use for separation of some, that is lactose. You can separate one of the compound from that waste. Okay, that is from buttermilk, then skim milk. So what? Then tray dyeing you can use here for making powder. Tray dyer can use here powder making. Then next you can see here whey powder, whey proteins, lactose, cheese preparation, animal feeds. So for animal feed purpose also we can make butter, oil, soap. So in soap making, and butter milk powder. So we can use here tray drying method. So these are the end products obtained from wastes. Okay, so it is useful for making the environment safe. So let's say what are the other content that is coming from the waste, that is liquid waste, solid waste, organic matter. We cannot separate it out. So what will be the final process? So let's say in brief about this composting. So you can see here degradable wastes are those which are organic or biological
Sachin,
in
your
origin.
PPT is not
So
visible.
non-biodegradable. Okay. Sorry, sir, some network issues are here. I'm trying to show you a PPT.
Okay, you can continue without PPT.
Okay.
You can keep trying. And,
Okay, sir.
yeah, now it's visible in the first slide. You can continue without PPT. Was it taking up much time?
Sir, am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Okay, sorry for the waiting. Uh, so what are the treatment of solid wastes? So biodegradable wastes. So there are different types of wastes. Some waste come under biodegradable, and second, some come under non-biodegradable. Biodegradable waste means organic matter, and that is biological origin. And what's about non-biodegradable materials like metals, plastics, and paper? You know about that. That are not that are not decomposed by naturally occurring microorganisms. So we have to take here biodegradable material for composting. So what is about composting? Composting is a natural process of decomposition and recycling of organic material into humus-rich soil amendments. That is known as compost. So due to this compost, so we will get different gases and some byproducts and simple products, simple forms that are useful for farming. That is farm for the crop development. So they require that simple forms. So what's about next? So different that is coming from food industries like fruits, vegetables, and dairy products and grains, bread. That is some waste are getting from that. So these are the biodegradable material. That is waste material. So we can decompose with the help of microbial culture. So next, non-biodegradable means plastics and that we can reutilize. So nowadays we know about that we need to use below that is above 50 micron size that plastic should have above 50 micron size, that is LDB, NHDB, audio, that is PP also, polypropylene, different types of packaging materials. So, but its thickness must be above 50 micron. So this is about the solid material. Then what's about next? Treatment of liquid wastes. So here we can we can see different food industries installed effluent treatment plant, ETP. It's called in short ETP, effluent treatment plants, where physical, biological, and chemical steps are performed to remove the unwanted part, then filter the water, and that water that is liquid is treated liquid. That will be treated liquid, and that treated liquid used for gardening. So this is about the treatment of liquid wastes. So in that very important concept, that is BOD and COD. So what is about BOD? So BOD means biological oxygen demand, and what is about COD means chemical oxygen demand. So biological oxygen demand means how much amount of oxygen is needed for the growth of microorganism to oxidize the organic matter present in water sample for over a period of 5 days. So we perform this 5 days. So we will get BOD. And you know, this BOD, that is for drinking water, should be less than 1. This BOD for drinking water should be less than 1. So what about raw sewages? like wastewater, waste liquid. Waste liquid contains near about several hundred of that BOD value. So we need to reduce that BOD value. That is less than. We should reach to less than 1. So this is about the BOD. So what's about chemical oxygen demand? Chemical oxygen demand is the measure of oxygen required to oxidize all compounds, like organic as well as inorganic compounds. So this is about these are the terms come under this liquid waste. So this is about my PPT. So thank you, sir. Any questions?
Participants, if you have any queries, feedback, you can share in chat box or raise your hand so that we can meet you. There are no queries as of now, so you can continue to share in chat box. We'll take up at the end. Congratulations, Dr. Sachin. Wish you all the success and look forward for more sessions.
Thank you, sir.
So we'll move on to our next presentation by Dr. Urvashi. So is it your ID, Paripurna? Then unmute yourself, start your video and presentation, Dr. Urvashi.
Yes, sir. My PPT is visible?
Yes, ma'am. It's good.
Okay.
Your introduction.
Myself, Paripurna Goswami, teaching assistant, and my co-author is Dr. Urvashi Misra, assistant professor in the Department of Family and Community Resource Management, the Maharaja Sayajirao University of Baroda, Gujarat. Here we are going to present on home security system for elderly. India at present is considered as a leading nation in the world in terms of human power. The youth young population is considered as its strength and it enhances its potential for faster growth. Along with that, the proportion of elderly in the population of country has increased and it put a strain on healthcare, social care, safety and security system in the country. People aged above 60 years mostly prefer to aging in their own place and grow old under security by maintaining their independence and both comfort. Elderly are very much prone to danger because of their declination of physical and mental abilities. Elderly are victims of grievous hurt, murder, abuse, isolation by neighbors, family member, domestic servant. Security has often been argued from a risk perspective, like the risk of falling or the fear of crime, which implies the need of promote security for elderly persons as their risks are higher in their age group. Therefore, to assist and provide security to the elderly, home security systems for elderly are often employed in their residence, which can deter crime, reduce accident, and support elderly. The concept of home security system is very much known to all, and nowadays it is very much trendy, but active researches are being carried out to leverage the benefit of information and communication technologies only. Researchers feel that there is a need to spread the importance, uses, and benefit of installing a home security system for comfort and safety of the elderly at their residence. There is also need to assess the utilization pattern and satisfaction of the users who are already installed the home security system for elderly at their residence. Hence, the study was undertaken to find out the commonly installed home security system which is helpful to elderly people and to know their utilization pattern and satisfaction experienced by the elderly users of home security systems. The finding of the study will be beneficial to the manufacturer and retail of different home security systems for elderly. On the basis of feedback of the study, they can make improvement in their product if needed. The study was aimed to assess the extent of utilization and satisfaction experienced regarding home security system for elderly by the respondent from the selected district of Upper Assam, with 4 objectives, that is to conduct a market survey of home security system for elderly available in the market. Second, to assess the extent of utilization. Third, to assess the extent of satisfaction experience regarding home security system for elderly by the respondent. And fourth, to prepare a working drawing. As I am from the inter-design field, therefore I have prepared a working drawing with cost estimation for one of the respondent house according to their needs and requirement. The study was limited to selected district of Assam only. The study was also limited to 120 households from the selected district of Assam, and study was also limited to those households where at least one home security system for elderly was installed and was being used for minimum past 1 year. Various literature was reviewed, and it reflects the meaning, usability, benefit, and features of various home security systems and different need of home security system for elderly people. Most of the researches has given more focuses on development of different home security system to protect elderly at home, but only a few research studies have been found concerning the extent of utilization and satisfaction experienced by elderly regarding home security system for elderly installed in their residence. Various researches include crime prevention effects of closed circuit television, changes in the use of assertive device among 90 years old person, and integrated healthcare for elderly living in their homes, a living lab facilities on safety in home among the elderly and elderly disabled, smart home elderly, attitude of senior citizen towards smart home technologies, analyzing the elderly users' adoption of smart home services, ambient sensor for elderly care and independent life, automation techniques for smart home for elderly peoples, home security systems, home automation, utilization and satisfaction pattern, home automation and security system. For the present study, descriptive research design was used. The district of Upper Assam was used as a local. Elderly resident aged above 60 years residing in the district of Upper Assam was used as unit of inquiry, and 120 elderly residents was used for the sample. Age, occupation, family monthly income was used as a personal variable, and living arrangement was considered as situational variable. Under dependent variable, it was considered the extent of utilization and satisfaction experience regarding home security system for elderly by the respondent. For data collection, we have used market survey, questionnaire, and interview schedule. Market survey was conducted to find out the availability of home security system in the particular area. Questionnaire was used to assess the extent of utilization and satisfaction of the respondent, and interview schedule was used to get detail about the need and requirement of the client regarding installation of home security system for elderly at their place. Different home security system for elderly which are available in the market, which we have get during the market survey are motion detector, motion sensor light, burglar alarm, medical security system, automatic pill dispenser, smart door lock, security camera, video door phone. The extent of utilization of home security system for elderly by the respondent, it was found that majority of the respondent had utilized the smart door lock, motion sensor light, security camera, and door video phone is always basis. Majority of the respondent were using security camera and they are using it more than 2 years. The elderly belonging to the age group of 60 to 70 years and 71 to 81 years were using security camera at their priority. Elderly belonging to the age group of 82 to 92 years were highly utilizing security camera as well as medical security devices at their residence. The respondent having less than 25,000 family monthly income had installed medical security devices. It may be because their respondent belonged to the age group of 82 to 92 years. Those respondents who had hearing related problem and dementia, they mostly utilize smart door lock, medical security camera, and automatic pill dispenser at their residence. Based on the data, the extent of satisfaction experienced regarding home security system for elderly was categorized here and showed here. And it was found that respondents were highly satisfied with the functioning aspect of motion sensor light and security camera. For burglar alarm, the respondents were satisfied with the material design aspect. For the video door phone, the respondents were highly satisfied with the functioning, comfortability during use, response frequency, quality of footage, regularity of work, and material of device. Respondents were satisfied with the functioning, comfortability, accuracy design, and material of smart door lock. For the medical security device, the respondents were satisfied with functionality, design, and size aspect of the device. Respondents were highly satisfied with all the aspect of automatic pill dispenser device. At last, we have prepared a working drawing for a respondent house for the installation of home security system for elderly. The designing process was followed in 3 phases. At first, we have assessed the residence space provided for designing the house and identified the need and requirement of the client for installation of home security system. In phase 2, we developed 3 designs. Here you can see. And in third phase, cost estimation of electrical plant and home security system for elderly to be installed in the selected space, and its implementation was done. Here is the plan. Here is the furniture layout of the same plan. This is the false ceiling layout of the same plan. Here we have done the electrical plan for the same house. And this is the proposed layout of the house with installation of security camera, video door phone, smart door lock, and motion sensor light as per client requirement. Here we have done cost estimation for proposed electrical plan with electrical fittings and installed home security system for elderly, with cost 4,64,690 rupees. Here is the status of implementation at the client's premises. At the end, elderly age group which need much care and attention, home security system for elderly can help them age in place with dignity and safe. It provides them more confidence in their ability to live alone and help families to avoid the wrenching decision to move aging parents into costly assisted living facilities like old age home. The collected data during the study revealed that majority of the respondents were using security cameras at their residence. Majority of the respondents were highly satisfied with all the devices. ANOVA was tested for hypothesis, and it was found that there exists a significant relationship between extent of utilization of home security system for elderly with the selected personnel variable family monthly income of the respondent. The study will be beneficial in the field of family and community resource management for architect, interior designer, and builder, for manufacturer, retailer, consumer of home security systems. Here are some recommendations for future researches. Thank you. Any questions?
Nice study, nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
In fact, nowadays, everyone, the enforcement authorities are also recommending to have CCTV
Yes, sir.
and security systems installed in apartments and residence welfare associations.
Yes, sir.
So it is a great boon that technology has provided, especially for the senior citizens, where they can be monitored remotely and assisted remotely.
Yes, sir.
So very well presented.
Thank you so much, sir.
Friends, do you have any queries? You can use chat box or raise your hand. If you have any queries, feedback on this presentation, you can continue to provide in chat box or through feedback form. Congratulations, Varpuna, for your presentation, and wish you all the success for your future endeavors.
Thank you so much, sir.
So we'll move on to our next presentation by Lokeshwara. Lokeshwara, you can unmute yourself, start your video and presentation with your introduction. Any other presenters waiting for their presentation can share the details. Otherwise, this will be the last presentation for the day. We'll conclude after this presentation.
So just a second, I'm just have a setting issues on my PPT. Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am. You can make it little bigger. Maybe you can use landscape mode.
Okay, sir.
You can introduce yourself and start your presentation.
Okay. So very good evening to one and all present here. Here I'm Lokeshwar Sahu. And currently I'm pursuing my master's in clinical psychology from DAV University, Indore, and I completed my graduation from Delhi University. And today my topic is the media pressure and the women's
Your
body image
video is
discernment.
not visible, ma. You can switch on your video also.
Sorry, sir. Actually, some issues are there in my settings, so only PPT or audio.
Because we need for record purpose.
Okay, sir. Let me try.
We have clearly mentioned.
Okay, sir.
You should know who is presenting now.
Okay, sir.
Or you can switch on for a minute. We'll take a snapshot, then you can.
Okay. Sir, it's visible now?
Yeah, just
Yes, sir. Because at a time, I'm not able to connect the audio, video, and PPT at a time. Sorry for the inconvenience, sir.
It's okay. Now you can share your PPT.
Okay, sir. So the topic is media pressure and women's body image discernment, a cross-cultural study. That is the North Indian versus the South Indian. Like one can get many researches regarding the media pressure and women's body image discernment in Google. It's a very common topic. But as far as I know, this is the first research I have done that a cross-cultural study in India and basically focusing on the North Indian and the South Indian women. In Google, you can get many researches regarding the Western and non-Western culture. But this is the first research I have done in India. That is the comparative study between the North Indian and the South Indian women. So let me tell about the basics of my research paper. Basically, this relationship between media pressure and body image discernment of women across culture is between North Indian and the South Indian women. In this experiment, I have taken 60 participants, 30 from North India and 30 from South India, and the age group is 18 to 25. And this is a quantitative research methods. And in this method, I have used two questionnaires. One is the multidimensional body self-relation questionnaire, MBSRQ-AS, and the another questionnaire is sociocultural attitude towards appearance questionnaire 4, that is SATA Q4. And these two questionnaires have been used for this study purpose. So starting with the introduction, I just want to tell about what is the media consumption and body image and how this is related to this research paper. And in this section, I will cover how the effects of media like TV, televisions, magazines, social media are impacting the body image of women, specifically women, because my research paper is focused on the women. And there are many evidences there that shows that a definite link between how individuals compare themselves and perceive their own body with respect to online posted images, videos. And some researchers have also suggested that media's negative influence on women can make more vulnerable and susceptible to permanently altering their bodies. And many researchers have also proved that media consumption has a negative impact on body image. Though in my research, some positive impact also I have got. And next to the effect of television, like the television is a very common method of media that most of the people use nowadays. And when it comes to the social media, like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, it's more common nowadays, and people are handling this on a daily basis. So definitely media consumption have an impact on the body image perception of women. Now come to the culture and the body image, how the North Indian culture and the South Indian culture vary. This is the very first topic of my research, that is the how the North Indian and the South Indian people vary from their perspectives. So come to the culture. Culture is the nothing but a set of customs or the beliefs that is unique to a particular group of people. And in culture, basically, we the things like the language they speak, the food, their eating habitat, their dressing styles, and the kind of relationships, all these are included. So culture definitely be a parameter for
Lokeshwar,
the.
we are still on the introduction slide.
Okay, sir. So basically, I have not mentioned all the things in the slides. I have just mentioned the topics, the subtopics, which I'm going to cover. I have not written all the points like.
You have only just this slide for the entire presentation.
Yes, sir. So basically, how culture and body image are related, North Indian and South Indian, and Western and non-Western cultures. Like one can easily get the information regarding how the Western culture and non-Western culture differ, and how the body image of Western culture and non-Western culture are there. One can easily get in Google. So I thought just giving to the introduction part, I should just keep the pointers, what I'm going to present. So next, the objectives of my research. So my first objective was to examine the relationship between media pressure and different dimensions of body image perceptions. And as it is a cross-cultural study, so it's focused on North Indian women and the South Indian women. My next objective is to find the differences between media pressure across culture, North Indian and the South Indian women. And my third objective is to find the difference between various dimensions of body image perceptions among the North Indian and the South Indian women. So for this research, I have taken two hypotheses. First one is the null hypothesis, which says that there is no significant difference between media pressure across culture and between various dimensions of body image perception among North and South Indian women. Whereas the alternate hypothesis says that there is a significant difference between media pressure across culture and between various dimensions of body image perception among the North Indian and the South Indian women. Here are the various dimensions of body image perceptions. I have taken of 5 dimensions, like the appearance evaluation, appearance orientation, self-classified weight, overweight preoccupation. So basically, I have to examine on these 5 factors, the 5 dimensions of body image perception. So for this research, I have used 2 questionnaires, as I have said before, the MBSRQ-AS and the SETA Q4 questionnaires. When it comes to the SETA Q4 questionnaires, basically it is having 34 items, and it is having the 5 subscales. And as my study of purpose is to examine the media pressure, so I have just taken the media pressure subscale, which is having good reliability, good validity also. And the SETA Q4 questionnaires, basically, it has 5 subskills. I can just tell the name of the 5 subskills, what are they? The first one is internalization, thin or low body fat. Second one is internalization, muscularity or athlete. Third one is pressure family. Fourth one is pressure peer. And the fifth one is pressure media. So as my study is based on the media pressure, so I have taken the media pressure subskill for this research study. Now for this research study, the total sample size is 60. Total 60 participants I have taken, 30 each from the North India and 30 from the South Indian women. And for this research study, I have used the Pearson correlation coefficient, that is the product moment correlation, small r. And also I have done t-test for the hypothesis testing. Now come to the result parts. The first table basically shows the comparison of variables, that is the mean and standard deviation across the culture. And here you can see the body mass index, the appearance evaluation, appearance orientation, body area satisfaction, overweight preoccupation, self-classified weight, media pressure, and the overall appearance. So as I've told before that I have taken the dimensions, that is the 5 dimensions of body image, that is appearance, evaluation, orientation, body area satisfaction, overhead preoccupation, self-classified weight, and the media pressure. And the media pressure is the another variable. So here I have taken the t-test, and the t-test results are shown in this table. Now come to the second table. As I have mentioned, I have taken the Pearson product moment correlation coefficient for comparison, not comparison, basically the correlation between the media pressure and the 5 dimensions of body image perceptions. So first come to the North Indian women. According to the result, there is a non-significantly negative correlation has been found between the media pressure and appearance evaluation. And the same goes with appearance orientation. Here also I got a non-significant negative correlation, that is minus 0.10. And the rest dimensions of body image are like the body area satisfaction, overweight preoccupation, and the self-classified weight. These 3 dimensions of body image are non-significantly positively correlated with the media pressure. And this result is about the North Indian women. And the next slide shows about the correlation between media pressure and the 5 dimensions of body image perception of the South Indian women. So from the result table, we can conclude that the appearance evaluation, self-classified weight, and the overweight preoccupation. Sorry, not overweight preoccupation, it's the body area satisfaction. Appearance evaluation, body area satisfaction, and the self-classified weight. These 3 dimensions of body image are negatively correlated with media pressures, which shows that negatively correlation means with increase in media pressure, with increase in exposure to media, like various images or videos, the appearance evaluation and the body area satisfaction and the self-classified weight decreases, which shows that there is a negative correlation between the media pressure and these 3 dimensions of body image. But when it comes to appearance orientation and overweight preoccupation, it is positively correlated, which means that with increase in exposure to media, the overweight preoccupation also increases. That the people think that they are getting obese day and day, and there is a negative impact of media to their body area. Here the positive correlation shows that due to the exposure, they feel themselves as an obese one, not like a positive persons also. These 2 result tables shows that the North Indian and the South Indian tables of the media pressures and their body image perceptions. Now from this result tables like from the t-test and the correlation coefficient, I have drawn some conclusion for the North Indian women and for the South Indian women. So for the North Indian women, both the appearance evaluation and appearance orientation are non-significantly negatively correlated to media pressure from the table 2. And the body area satisfaction, overweight preoccupation, and self-classified non-significantly positively correlated, as I've told, are positively correlated, whereas some dimensions of body image are negatively correlated with media pressure. But when it comes to South India, from the result table, we can say that the appearance evaluation, body satisfaction, self-classified weight are non-significantly negatively correlated, whereas the appearance orientation and overweight preoccupation are non-significantly all 2 and 3, which is basically a comparison. And this one is the table 2. So from this table 2 and table 3, we have drawn a conclusion that some aspects of body image are positively correlated and some aspects of body image are negatively correlated. And this is for both North Indian as well as for South Indian. Now from the t-test, what we got, there is no significant difference between the media. What I got is that, but when we get the mean values, from that case, we can conclude that the North Indian women are more discerned regarding their body image than the South Indian women. And from these mean values, what we conclude that the North Indian women are basically more discerned. And for that, there are many researches also there, like the patriarchal system, wherein the North Indian people are very much focused on their thin ideal body perceptions. But when in South India, there is not much patriarchal. Most of the systems are not patriarchal. They're much literate and they know about their body shape and structures. So some limitations are there in my study. And the first one is the age limit. Basically, the age limit is 18 to 25 years. When we talk about the women's, basically the media pressure impact on the body image of women, we can take various age groups. But this is a major drawback of my study. You can say like that the age limit is 18 to 25, limited range of age group. And the second limitations of my study is that some participants from South India are having relatives from North India. You can say that this is one of the major drawbacks or the limitations of my study, because when figuring out on the students, or sorry, the women from the North India and the South India, I did not pay much attention that some South Indian people are having also relatives from their North India. It can also impact the study. And the third one is the online survey. I made an online survey for this research, and online survey doesn't 100% indicate that they are willing to fill the form. Some people can do like normally they can take it casually, and they can fill the form like carelessly also they can do, not taking it seriously. So this can be one of the limitations of my study. And finally, the parental pressure, peer pressure, skin tone, the distribution of body fat, and these factors I have not considered in this study. I just took the media pressure as just a variable and its impact on the body image discernment. So the parental pressure, peer pressure, the skin tone, the distribution of body fat, all these factors also have impact. So these factors would be taken into considerations for the further study. Now next come to the next slide, that is the future directions. So as before I have said that the more research across culture in India should be done. As far as my knowledge, this is the very first quantitative cross-cultural paper in India. No researches have been done till date regarding the North Indian and the South Indian cultural difference in body image perceptions. So follow-up interviews should be taken for social comparison, because online survey and the interviews methods, the results also vary. So the interviews should be taken for the social comparison, basically. And the researchers, those who want to do the further research in this field, they can also study the variables like the effect of exposure to thin ideal models and weight concerns, including the peer pressures, family pressures, the self-esteem values towards the appearance, effect of various therapies they have undergone, education, body dissatisfaction, and non-appearance related goals. So all these things they should take into consideration for the further research. So this is all about my presentations. So thank you all. Am I audible, sir? Sir, am I audible? Can anyone hear me? Sir, am I audible? Can anybody hear me? Sir, I have already completed my presentation.
Congratulations.
Sir, I have already completed.
Congratulations, man. Dear friends, if you have any queries, feedback, you can share in chat box. There are no further presentations. We shall conclude it here. Dear friends, overall feedback form has been shared. We request everyone to quickly attend to the form. Request everyone to fill up the feedback form, which has been raised in the form of polls in Zoom platform. We thank everyone for joining us for this 10 days international conference on occasion of 4th National Social Work Week. We congratulate all the participants and also the presenters who have made their presentations as part of the international conference. We request everyone, those who have not yet completed their formalities, to complete it by tonight or tomorrow, so that we shall process the certificates and issue the certificates in a week's time. You can check the website and download your certificates after 1 week. So let me quickly show you where you can find your certificates. The registration link has been shared every day. Those who have not yet registered, they can register. We are sharing the link once again, the chat box, the website link as well, where you can download your certificate and also find the recordings of the 10 days conference. Those who have already registered need not register again. Those who have not registered can register. This is the website. These are the formalities to be completed. Register as presenter or participant. Then for participant, you can register and participate and provide feedback and overall feedback. And then after stipulated time, you can download your certificate. For presenters, you can register as both participant and register presenter. And then share the details after filling up the Google form. There is a format available in the application form, registration form, and also on the website, where there is a format. You have to share the format along with the requesting files to the email address, then make presentation and provide your feedback and download your certificate. This is standard format for all the events that are being organized. Which is applicable for all the presenters and participants. This is the 10 days international conference. Here you can see the conference website. Sometimes here only the latest conference details will be available. So you can find it from the navigation menu. Here also the latest link will be on the top. You can just scroll down to find the older ones. Either way, to receive updates, WhatsApp group has been created. You can join the WhatsApp group. We'll also share once the certificates are updated. And this is a conference website, which is also sent to you in your email. This is a web page dedicated for this event. There are many events that are happening. So you have to be conscious about which event you have attended. Here, this is the flyer and details, and certificate links will be updated here. After 1 week, you can visit this website and download your certificates. So only those who have registered, participated, having minimum attendance, and those who have opted for certificate will be getting certificate. So make sure you are completing all the formalities. This is the schedule, will be updated as there are on-spot registrations that are happening. These are the sessions for 10 days, which have been recorded and which have been streamed live on YouTube. All the sessions are available. Others will be updated. Here you can see the formalities for each certificate for presenters, participants. And this participation and presentation certificate is different. So if you want both, for the presenters, you can register for both. In the form, you can opt your preferences. There are presentation guidelines where you can see here. This is also common for all the events. First, you need to submit the registration form, and then you have to copy this format either from registration form or from here. You can copy this format exactly and fill this all these details and attach all the required documents as mentioned as attachments in one single email. You can copy this format, fill up all the details, attach all the documents like PPT, photograph, your resume, and if you want to be a co-signatory, you can also attach your organization logo and scanned signature, and you have to send it to the conference email address. It is mandatory for all the presenters, for all the events. So make sure you exactly copy this format because these details are required. And photo is also mandatory because that will be published in the proceedings. And flyers, as you have seen, even flyers are also prepared, sometimes because of on-spot registration. And presenters have not shared in advance, so there might be delay preparing. So make sure you are completing the formalities. All the instructions are given in detail. You can go through. So thank you once again. We express our sincere gratitude to all the presenters and participants in this international conference. And thank you for making it successful. Once if you have filled the feedback form, you may leave the platform. So daily sessions are happening from 6 to 8 as part of the series, webinar series. You can join daily from 6 to 8 with the same link. There also you can make presentations in the webinar series daily. And on special occasions, there are conferences, seminars, workshops organized. You can also participate and present in them. Keep checking website for all the updates. You can join our Facebook group, Telegram channel, or Google group. Any of the channels or media, so that you will be receiving updates. So thank you once again, everyone. So see you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.